Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Let's talk about how to create a robust e-commerce strategy to supersize and grow your business. Today, I'm going to touch on a few key things for you to consider if you're not doing e-commerce yet in order to get started and add it as a multiple stream of income to your business and to grow and build and supersize your business. Grab my magnifying glass so we can see what we're talking about, so I can see what I'm talking about. So e-commerce, what the heck is it? It is simply buying and selling products and services over the internet. Now, it's mind-boggling to me that lots of businesses, literally millions and millions of businesses, still are not online. They do not even have a website, much less provide and sell their products and services on the internet. After the pandemic, the global pandemic in 2020 was a huge push for people to get online, to get on technologies that they'd never used before. I mean, we were Zooming for birthday parties. We were Zooming with my mom, and who's the great grandma to my grandchildren. My grandchildren were Zooming as 1-year-olds and babies, because we had to find ways to communicate and connect with one another during a time when in-person connection wasn't possible. A lot of businesses really suffered and millions went out of business during that time because they didn't change and embrace what was possible. They were still focusing on what they couldn't do anymore. And for many of them, that was their demise. So how can you think about adding an e-commerce component to your business? And that's my challenge today, is if you aren't creating and you don't already have an e-commerce business, how could you add it? How could you add that strategy to help you grow and supersize your business? And guess what? You might even find that your e-commerce part of your business ends up being the impetus that really supersizes your business. A lot of businesses don't think that there's a way for them to be online, but I have yet to find a business that cannot create an online component. It's a matter of, conducting comprehensive market research. What do the people you serve, what do they want? What do they need? How can you provide it to them? And a lot of times you can provide it remotely and much faster, easier, and less expensively and more efficiently than if you're actually having to deliver physical products and services to them. There's a reason that the ebook industry took off in ebooks. I remember when they first started, and everybody's like, well, I'm not going to read a book online. I'm not going to read a book on the computer. And now millions of people are walking around, billions of people are walking around with mobile devices, cell phones, Kindles, Nooks, whatever the ones are now. I don't even know if Nook is still a thing, but whatever the different brands are that have, and whole industries have exploded so that people can read digital books and online books. So we want to first do our market research. There's a theme going on here. Do some research before you jump in with both feet into anything. It's always a good rule of thumb. Build a seamless user experience. Again, focusing on your customers and what they need and want, and making sure that the experience they're having with your website, with your products, with your delivery, with every interaction with you is optimized and the best of your ability and continually improving, right? Make it as good as you can, get it out there, test and tweak it as you go, and continually improve it along the way. Leverage data-driven insights. We talk about this a lot as well. Embrace the whole omni-channel thing. Hey, we don't just have a storefront. We have a storefront and a global way to deliver our products and services to people. Where was I traveling? I'm traveling right now, but I was traveling in Texas this last fall, and I went to something called Round Top in Texas. If you're from Texas, you know what that is. If you're not, you probably don't. But it's like this 48-mile marketplace that they do a couple of times a year, and they sell a lot of antiques and I want to say junk, but stuff, right? Stuff that people want. One man's trash is another person's treasure. I've learned that over the decades. And so they have an online site and presence to get people from all over the world, and people from all over the world, businesses from all over the country show there. They also have online presence so that you might meet them there, but you also could find them online and find out more about them online. But all of that ties into the customer experience. If the more ways your customer has to find you and research you ahead of time, the more likely they are to buy and to come to you when they're ready to buy, right? When they're ready to make that buying decision. I want to put myself in front of people that are ready to take the next step, not just everybody in the whole wide world, depending on what the business is. So to keep this at a decent length, let's talk about 3 main things that you want to have in your e-commerce system. An incredibly flexible and agile inventory marketing system. If you're doing physical products and if you've got a physical business or any type of a retail business, which I have had, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Inventory management is one of your key factors. You know, taking care and making sure you're not losing inventory inadvertently or putting in wrong numbers so you get a misrepresentation of what you have. You want to optimize your inventory management so that you can deliver your products and services faster and easier to people. You want to leverage advanced tools for data collection so that you can stay up to date with the trends in your industry, what people may and may not want, how you can serve them better, how you can strategize and join forces with other companies. And maybe you don't want to create an e-commerce segment for your business, but guess what? You can partner with other businesses that do and build off of their success in e-commerce. And finally, I highly recommend that you have some kind of a customer loyalty program, that you reward your long-time, lifelong customers, because they're the ones that are going to bring you the most people and the most business. And if you treat them right, they will stay with you for their entire life. I have businesses that I have been doing business with since I was like 15 years old, 14, 15 years old. I have products that I use to this day that I started using when I was a teenager, and I continue to use them because of my experience with their company, the products and the services themselves, etc. So, question today, have you got an e-commerce component? Is it robust and optimized? Could you improve it? Do you have it documented so you can continuously improve it? Or is that something you need to look into or you're curious about looking into? Let me know in the comments below. Have an awesome day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow. I have a slow connection, so it's not letting me stop. Bye-bye.